idea. If the oil's flowing, so this is the burner pot that I use in my furnace when I'm burning oil. Right now I'm burning wood, and sometimes I burn oil, sometimes I burn wood. But currently this thing is shot, so I need to make a new one. I might even make a separate video discussing the pros and cons of different fuels for me, why I choose the different fuels, when, etc. But today I do need to make a new pot. As you can see, this thing is wore out. I've even put some patching on the inside. One of these usually makes it through the whole season, but it's been cold this year, really cold. And even though I burned a lot of wood this year, I burned a lot of oil as well, and it burned it up. There's nothing left of it, so we're gonna make a new one today. So I accidentally cut the wrong set of rings out, which is causing them to be a little gapped in here. I mean, it'll be okay. I've made so many different variations of this pot over the years, and I got these saved in my CAD CAM files, and I just go over there and cut a set out when I need them. And of course I cut the wrong set out, so not a big deal. There's just some gaps in it right here. Not gonna hurt anything. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out with a hole saw. And I hate hole saws. I can never get them to cut accurate. I've bought the good brands. This one here is a Lennox. Just, they're not accurate. I don't know, I don't like them personally, but so the way this works, the way I found works the best, so as the flame or the oil and the air are coming in, once it ignites, it comes around, kind of hits this ramp right here, and it kicks it off to the center, and then you get the cyclone or the spiral action going on. So I kind of kick this out a little bit and push this in a little bit, which will allow that to slide in there like so. Okay, so I got it all set up here. Let me kind of explain what's going to happen here. I'm going to explain it now because once I start lighting it, I'm going to set the camera down and I'm going to be a little occupied. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little oil in here to prime it. I'll take that weed burner, I'll get that pan hot to where a fire will start. Once there's a flame in there, a pretty good flame, the important part here is having control of the wind when you first turn this blower on. You know, if this thing was coming on wide open, full blast, it's just going to snuff that fire out or even possibly blow oil out of the pot. So we want to make sure that I have control over this wind, and the only way I can do that is with something like this, one of these deals where I can adjust the speed of the motor. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get this thing lit. So the only thing I'm missing on this mock setup is the bucket of oil that's usually attached to this here, but it's not a big deal. So typically I would turn the valve on to prime it like I'm doing here. And then once it's lit, just turn the valve on, but I'm just going to dump it in here like this, and this will do the same thing. So it's primed now. So we're going to go ahead and get it lit. Like I said, this is exactly how I would light it in my furnace. Okay, now the oil's going good. Now I want to go ahead and slowly bring air in. So since my live demonstration really didn't work out as planned or how I would have liked you guys to see it, I'm going to go ahead and set this furnace up to burn oil from beginning to end. I'm going to show you every step I take exactly as if I was just, I just got done building it and we were starting from scratch. One quick thing in the furnace that I have to do is I have to take this cap off. And the only reason I put that on is so I don't get smoke when I'm burning wood. If there's not a fan blowing, keeping the air positive, I tend to get smoke coming back out. So I just cap this off. So I'll show you this part component of it before I put the blower and everything on here. But all this is a piece of that's 2-inch or 2 1/4 or 2-inch pipe that just goes through, comes through here, and then I just made this flange right here to mount the blower. And then this is where the actual oil will be going in. The copper oil line will come through and it'll go through. I'll go ahead and put it in and I'll show you the inside of this again, what it looks like in there. So this just is fitting with a compression fitting, pipe fitting with a compression fitting. Okay, so I got the line in there. Let me show you what it looks like. It just sits on the floor of this pipe. I used to think that it had to come all the way out to the end, and it doesn't. What'll happen if it does, eventually it'll just burn back anyway. So it's just sitting, it's probably about right here, give or take. And that's all you need. Just as long as the oil flows out of there, that's all you want. So like I said earlier, a lot of times I'll cut my oil if it's thick or super cold out and it's super thick. It doesn't burn different. It's the flowing. Sometimes I have flow issues with it, so we're just gonna put a little diesel in there and cut it. Put maybe a half gallon or so in there, not much. And I know I've heard about it. This isn't a good way to do it. Yes, I have to do this every day. That I'm burning oil, or every other day. But you can see the screen I have up here, and you can see how important it is. And this is just trash that's in oil that I get. All right, so the next thing is to go ahead and put the pot in. So I just have it sitting up on a piece of 2x2 box tubing, and then it just comes right in. Now I will say that since this is a new pot here, they all burn different. I know it's weird, but they do. Sometimes you have to turn these, which aims the oil and the airflow. So we'll get it lit, and we'll see what it looks like. Let me get my torch set up, and we're gonna get this baby lit. Okay, we're all ready to go. Before we go, I'm just gonna walk through the steps real quick. Like I explained in the video earlier, the first thing I always do is I go ahead and I turn the oil on, or I prime it. Once I get that hot and it's burning that oil and it's keeping that oil burning, I will slowly start to bring in air, and I'll start to ramp both things up, just like on a carburetor on a car. So here we go. So the oil is already burning, but it's not hot enough yet because that oil's burning. Sometimes I have to bring some more oil in also while I'm lighting it. Now it's getting hot. And it's lit just like that. Now I can start to balance it back and forth, air and oil, until I get it marked and set where I like it. I can tell because it's chugging. The flame's going up and down. So that means it's getting oil and it's burning. It's back and forth. I need a little bit more oil. I'll go ahead and open the oil wide open just so you can see what it looks like and what it does. But look at the distance between the end of the flames and the tube. That's what I look at, is that distance, trying to close that gap up. That's me opening the oil wide open and then closing it back. See how much more intense it just got? Let me put a little bit more air in it and see what it does. That's more air, same amount of oil. You can see that pan starting to get hot. Let's see what that did. Crank the air up. Let's go outside and see what the stack looks like. Make sure my tubes ain't glowing yet. Getting a little bit of smoke. there's a stack. I mean, there's a tiny bit of smoke coming out. So that's it, guys. That's how I burn oil. You see the whole thing from beginning to end, the whole setup that I run. I do want to say one quick thing. If you do decide to do this, you know, don't. This isn't a how-to. Just please be careful. I've heard the horror stories about people burning waste oil, especially people that like to light stuff like this and walk away and leave it unattended. You know, I have fire extinguishers all over the place in here. Thanks for watching. If you can, please hit that subscribe button. I am trying to build this channel up.